Joining me now, the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Tonagel. Coach, the theme, people say it all the time around here, that survive and advance. That's what you kind of have to do, and it's kind of what you did do yesterday. Washington Adventist, hadn't been here a whole lot, but they were certainly enthused. They were determined. They played extremely hard, and you guys had to respond.
Yeah, I think they're a very good basketball team. Very good defensively, very physical. We saw that play out throughout the game. And then they made shots, which kept them in the game. And it took a great game by us in the second half to finish some shots, but also go to the free throw line and go 16 for 16.
Coach, we're just going to jump right into it, take a look at some highlights here. And, in that first half, got out to a little bit of a lead and was, playing pretty well. And I don't know if you saw going into it, you thought you could go inside quite a bit to Evan, and you got the ball in there, but then maybe away from it a little bit too.
Well, I think they're physical, and their physicality kind of mucked it up a little bit for a little bit of a stretch, but I thought Kyle did a great job finding Evan. Grant Smith ends up with 5 assists, so he did a tremendous job finding him also.
Kyle Mangus, 15 points in the first half. We've seen some games where he's got 30 points or whatever, but 25 of them come in the second half. I thought he was really dialed in from the get-go.
He was a great scoring option in that first half, and he went right at him. And second half, the reason second half was different, we coupled him with Evan, coupled him with Grant Smith. Kenny Coffey hit 2 big threes. So when we get multiple options, then we become a really difficult team to defend.
Saw the nice look inside there from Joel Okafor. Nice finish there from Kyle Mangus. He had some really good post-ups in this game. Used his advantages over some of the guards trying to defend.
Yeah, Kyle's versatile and he can do it. And you got to give Grant credit. He's always looking to find him.
Some faces we're seeing here early on in the first half. You went to Isaiah Payton early, Seth Maxwell. You went to your bench. You have to almost just determine in your mind, I would think, like, we are going to use our bench because we have to.
Well, a couple things. One, you don't have the media timeout, so guys can't play those extended stretches. And if you're planning on making a run, you're going to play multiple games in consecutive days. And so this is the opportunity for guys that are on the bench to step up and get more playing time.
Well, speaking of making runs, credit the Shock. They made a run to close out the half. They actually took a 2-point lead into the locker room at the half. And that's, Grant Smith made probably like 3 plays like that where he finished shots. I don't know how he made the basket.
Grant just made tough plays,
yeah.
And he plays hard. He was on the floor. Grant gave his 100% effort, his body in that game yesterday.
We didn't talk about it, got to mention though, in the first half, turnovers killed you, and free throws were not good, only 53%. Totally different story in the second half though.
Yeah, I mean, we were 8 for 15 in the first half. If we do that in the second half, we'd probably lose. Yeah. So the fact that we went 16 for 16 down the stretch, built a lead and then sustained that lead.
And then this was a big shot from Kyle, open in the corner, knocking that one down. Again, Isaiah with a nice feed inside there to Seth. 2 freshmen making a contribution right there. And in these games, 2 points are huge.
Yeah, every basket it means a lot because down the stretch, they made their run. They got really close, and we were able to just have just enough cushion to survive and advance.
I want to get back to the free throws really quick. We don't watch a lot of highlights of free throws. Normally, we're used to seeing Kyle toss it to Grant, but this time it was the other way around. But you mentioned 16 of 16 down the stretch, but 19 of 20 in the second half, 95% in the second half. That'll win you a lot of basketball games.
And there we saw a big charge by Kenny Coffey.
Yeah.
It was a 1-possession game at that point. We come down, Evan hits a 3. Charges are huge when you can do that. They're momentum changers.
And again, Washington Adventist, a couple times you guys got up by 8 points in the second half. You had to use a 20-9 lead or a 29 run to take the lead, but they hit some big shots down the stretch. You did a good job, I thought, defending Mayimba, but they had some other guys step up. Sewell, Vine, they were. Again, they were an impressive team.
I thought they were contested shots too, as you talked about. But a lot of their points came from second chance opportunities here. we didn't get a rebound. We got to come up with those.
Yeah.
We got to come up with those rebounds. You can't give a team second and third opportunities.
Now, this was a big shot here by Kanan Coffey. Oh, excuse me, that's Kyle Mangus. But we do have highlights. We do have highlights of free throws, and it was a highlight. It was the difference in the ball game. Evan, especially, and Kyle down the stretch from the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the line at the end of the game and you put those in, it allows you to set your defense. It allows you to give confidence next time you come that you're not afraid to go to the rim and get fouled.
That was a little scary moment. I was glad to see Trevor Waite get up, but the senior, Trevor Waite, just all-out hustle. I mean, because he knows what's at stake.
Yeah, he's a senior, man. He's going to leave it all on the floor.
Winding down now this second half. This was a point, though, where you really had to take care of the basketball, and then that drive and the finish by Joel. Wow, that was a big play in this game.
Yeah, tough play by Joel. This is a great play by them. They little backside, we call it a hammer screen, and they converted. We almost had the game out of reach, double digits. They kept pulling it back within 5 and 7 points.
That shot we just saw by Kyle Mangus, and then that one by Grant Smith. But I had other coaches talking to me after the game about that shot by Kyle Mangus. That's why he's a player of the year kind of
That's like a horse circus shot that you put somebody out of the game with.
But you know what the thing is? I told him it's not a fluke.
No, not with Kyle.
No, it's not a fluke play at all. And they're like, how does a kid make those plays? And I said, well, I don't know, but we've seen it before. Well, again, big win for Indiana Wesleyan, 87-81 over Washington Adventist. Now you move on to the second round, take on Dakota Wesleyan. If there's a home team here, it's Dakota Wesleyan. There's going to be a sea of blue here tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, this is not very far from campus. They filled it up last night. They even played some games here this year. I guess that's pretty smart to do.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting atmosphere. I think our guys are ready and excited for the challenge.
Obviously, a very good basketball team, a number 3 seed here, but you got to talk about Ty Hoagland. He had 43 points in the opening round victory. He's had 4 or 5 games this year, 40 points or more. We've seen shooters like him before out here. You always kind of do, but he's one of the good ones.
He is. He's a heck of a player. He's a scorer. He's just a natural scorer. He's just got ability to put the ball in the hole, and he can do it a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So there's not one thing you want to take away from him. You just got to play solid defense.
All right. Well, again, Coach, congratulations on the victory. The Wildcats will take on Dakota Wesleyan Friday afternoon. It'll be a approximately 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. You can catch all the action here on WIW TV.